Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am so delighted you're here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking about how to be more consistent in life. If you're like me, sometimes I get a little flaky when I want to do a new project or just show up for myself. I start off strong and then something happens and I just sort of fall off. And I'm not very consistent. So I want to talk to you today about ways that you can be more consistent in your life. And that means showing up for yourself and actually putting forth full effort in your life. So if you've ever had a problem with being inconsistent, with habits that are not really that great, this is the episode for you because I'm going to share with you some simple tips for how to reverse all of that. How can you show up and be more consistent in each and every moment of your life? So the very first thing in being consistent is to have a morning routine. This sounds really simple and you may think it doesn't really matter, but it does. When we wake up in the morning, what we do in the first half hour really sets the tone for our entire day. So if that first half hour of you getting up includes hitting the snooze button 15 times, and trust me, that used to be me. I used to sleep with my cell phone in my hand so that I didn't have to get up to hit the snooze button, and I would hit it at least 15 times. I would start the alarm for half an hour before I had to get up or an hour before I had to get up, just so I had that snooze time. That's a really bad idea. When you hit the snooze, and I'm not judging you for doing it because again, like I said, that used to be me, you're not getting that really deep sleep. So it makes it a lot harder for you to wake up and you feel kind of groggy when you constantly hit that snooze button. So instead, make a plan that I'm going to get up when my alarm goes off. For me, what I had to do was to put my phone on the other side of the room so that when I had to get up to turn the alarm off, I physically had to get out of bed and walk across the room. So at that point, I was already up and that was half the battle. And it really did help. And now I am at a point where I usually wake up 5 or 10 minutes before my alarm goes off. So I'm ready to go when that alarm goes off or even before it goes off, ready to start my day. Another thing that is important is what you do in the morning after you get up. So do you just grumble and go to the shower and then grumble while you're in the shower because you're not ready to be awake? Or what do? Do you have a routine? For me, what I do in the morning is while I'm putting on makeup or doing my hair, I listen to something inspirational. Sometimes it's affirmations. Sometimes it's a YouTube video from someone who inspires me, like a mentor. And I might listen to a motivational piece, or they may have something like this, a podcast where they're giving me advice on how to make my life better. I listen to something in the morning that is going to take my mind off of being the crabby, didn't want to get out of bed person, because I want to set the intention that I'm going to have a good day. In fact, there's a really great YouTube video that I think it was created by Louise Hay, and it's called It's a Great Day. And it's just a short little video you can listen to, but it's consistently repeating, today is a beautiful day. Today is going to be a good day. We have to hype ourselves up sometimes because other people don't do that for us. So sometimes we have to be the one to hype ourselves up and say, yes, it's going to be a fantastic day. This isn't toxic positivity. I'm not talking about closing your eyes and not seeing problems, but we can be intentional that no matter what happens, I know I can't control what happens to me today. I know that things will creep up, but no matter what, I'm not going to let it affect my mood, my mindset. It's not going to throw me off balance. We can do that. So in the morning, when you wake up, do something that's going to set the intention that you're going to have a good day. Whether you do a quick morning meditation. I kind of consider listening to this video a meditation because I am reinforcing to my subconscious mind that it's going to be a beautiful day. I created the same meditation for my patrons, and I release it to them. So if you are a patron, I do believe that I have this meditation on the page somewhere, but it's a great way to start your day because you've set that intention. It's going to be a beautiful day. Also, it's really a good idea to wake up with time to be able to do these things. A lot of people will wake up just with enough time to get dressed or shower and run out the door. Me, I like to wake up with enough time that I can, again, listen to something motivational. I can perhaps, if I want to, sometimes I do some stretching in the morning. You could do a workout routine if you wanted to. They have like 10, 15-minute routines, so you wouldn't have to get up super early. Whatever it is that's going to make you feel motivated for the day, give yourself enough time to do that. And for me, coffee, I love having my morning coffee, and I don't want to be in a rush when I drink it. So I have some time to drink my coffee. I have time to do everything that I want to do. And that is how I start my morning to make sure that I'm setting the intention that it's going to be a good day. So stop for a moment and think about what could you incorporate into your morning routine that might make it better. And if you're like me, sometimes I get stuck in a rut where I do the same things over and over again because we're humans and we're creatures of habit. Is there a way you can change up your routine a little bit in the morning so that you make your day more exciting, add something new to it? So just think about that. Think about, what is my morning routine right now? I'd love for you to just stop what you're doing and take a moment and think about that. What is my morning routine currently like? How can I change that so that I'm giving myself more opportunities to be successful for the day? I'm setting that tone and that intention. Another great thing to do to be consistent in your life is to focus on one thing at a time. Yes, it's great to be able to multitask. However, we're not as productive when we do that. So take time to focus. Focus, as one person stated, can stand for follow one course until success. So what do you want for the day? What do you want to get done? Focus on that one task and then move on to the next one so you're not so all over the place. I will never forget watching my aunt clean. She would get so distracted. She would set a timer and she would say, okay, I'm going to clean this corner of the house, but then she'd walk over and start in something else and then walk to a third room. There was not a lot getting done because she was just so all over the place and distracted constantly. So focus on one task at a time is actually going to make you more effective. Even if you think that multitasking is a great thing, you're not as productive. You're really not. And I know sometimes we have to multitask, but if you're able to focus on one task at a time, do that. It's also important that you are consistent with your thoughts. And that means staying present in the moment, because if you're like me, when my mind starts to wander, it goes to the weirdest places and I get so distracted by that. But having empowering thoughts and staying fully present in the moment is going to help you from your mind wandering to those negative thoughts. You know, when we're not paying attention and we're on autopilot, that's when the negative programming that we've had for years and years and years creeps back up again. And it just makes sense because it runs in the background without us really thinking about it. We've had that for years. It's been instilled in us. So it takes practice and consistency every day to stop that programming, to change that record, and to reprogram our thoughts so that they're more empowering and that they help us. Also, when you complete your goals, say you get your task done, give yourself a little reward, whether it's a virtual pat on the back or you go, let's say, take a coffee break, or you go treat yourself to something else. Rewarding yourself is going to continue to keep you consistent because we like that payoff at the end, right? I did what I needed to get done today. I feel great about it. Now I'm going to reward myself. It keeps you consistently coming back and doing that because we like that reward. We like what happens when we succeed and you're going to feel good about yourself. So always acknowledge your successes, no matter how small they may seem. I said this in my book, Beautifully Broken, but if I walk into the kitchen with a dish in my hand to put in the sink, and I walk out of the room and I don't have that dish in my hand anymore because I remembered to put it in the sink, I celebrate that because I forget everything. I will move something to a specific spot so I don't lose it, and then forget where I moved it so I wouldn't lose it. So I celebrate those moments where I have actually completed a task and I didn't get distracted. Another thing that's really important is to stop putting things on our plate that we don't want to eat. I'll say that again. Stop putting things on your plate that you don't want to eat. I don't mean literally. I mean, stop doing things in your life or saying yes to things that you don't really want to do. If you looked at yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, if today was the last day that I was here on earth, would I be happy with the way that I'm spending it? Would I want to be going out and doing the thing that I'm going to do today? And if the answer is no, if it's something that you can change, change it. Don't get roped into doing things that you don't want to do just because you won't want to look like a bad person for not doing it. We get sucked into that, especially if you're a people pleaser. You want to help people, so you'll say yes to things you really don't want to do. Think about it that way. Your time is limited and time is precious. If you really truly understood and knew that, would you continue doing all these things you don't want to do? Probably not. I know so many people who go to church every Sunday just for the sake of going to church. They don't enjoy it. They just feel like they have to go. So it's like out of obligation. And I used to be one of those people too. I felt like I needed to go. But as long as I was getting something out of it, I would continue to go. Once I stopped getting anything out of it, once I would go and just think to myself, I don't feel better from having gone to church today. And I'm not knocking people going to church. Absolutely, you should do whatever you want to do as long as it makes you happy. But if you're just going out of obligation, and I think a lot of people do, I don't really understand the point of that. You're not getting anything out of it if you're not enjoying it and you feel like you don't want to be there. And you can have a perfectly good relationship with the Creator, God, whatever you want to call your higher divine power, without having to go to four walls. So think about it that way. Whatever you feel that you want to do, and when you don't feel it's in your best interest, think about it as, I only have a limited amount of time here. Am I going to waste it doing things that I'm not happy doing? And I don't think you would. And that can apply to anything. It doesn't necessarily apply to church. I just use that as an example because I think a lot of people can identify with that. One of the last and most important things about being consistent is that we're more likely to be consistent when we've had enough rest and we're taking care of ourselves. If you ever noticed, most of the time when I call it falling off the wagon, when we get away from our goals and what we really want to do in life, it's often because we're worn out, we're drained, we're not taking care of ourselves. When we're sick, when you get sick, oh my gosh, you don't want to do anything, right? You don't even want to get out of bed. So take care of yourself. That is going to help you to remain consistent because you need to make sure that you feel good. That means getting plenty of sleep, eating well. Yeah, we can eat bad foods for us sometimes, but we have to have balance too in everything because if we don't, we're going to feel badly and we're going to have low energy, we're going to get sick more often. So make sure that you're taking time to recharge, that you're doing things to increase your mindfulness. So that means slowing down, not getting into that rat race and then going on autopilot and not paying attention to what you're doing. Be mindful every day and everything that you do. Make sure that you're present. Make sure that you're doing things to protect your energy. So that means also clearing your energy now and then. You can do that through guided meditations. You can do that through EFT. You can do that through hypnosis. There are a lot of different ways that we can clear our energy, but it's important to stay grounded and to get focused. If we do those things, we will be more consistent in life. And also look to things that motivate you. I like to be inspired. And so sometimes one thing that I can do that inspires me is to look to people who are very successful. And I look at them and think, what are they doing every day that makes them so successful? And you will see that a lot of people have habits and routines that they do on a daily basis that keep them going and keep them motivated and keep them consistent. So look to those people, and not in a way that you're comparing yourself, but in a way that you're looking for inspiration. What does that person do every day? When my grandma was alive, she used to wake up every day at 4 a.m. and she would read the Bible. That was the way that she started her day, and that worked for her and that motivated her. So what are some things that other people who inspire you do to help them be consistent and to stay motivated? So look to other people too. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by what others do and to take those tips and tools from others. So always look around and find out, what are other people doing? How are they being successful? I shared that I have a morning routine. I think a lot of people who are successful, they have intentional morning routines and maybe even things they do all day long. If you're at work in the middle of the day and you're feeling drained, do something to replenish your energy, whether that's getting up and walking around the building a couple of times, or maybe it's going and drinking a glass of water. A lot of different things motivate people, and we're all different. So find the thing that motivates you. Maybe it's listening to a TED Talk on your lunch break. Maybe it is closing your eyes and doing a quick little energy callback, like a guided meditation at your desk. There are so many little quick things you can do to keep yourself motivated throughout the day. Because let's face it, we do start in the morning off really strong, right? I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be great. And then we interact with humans and we interact with our bosses, and our energy slowly dwindles and drains. You've got to keep that energy up throughout the day and the motivation up throughout the day. So find things that you can do to put yourself back in the right mindset that will keep you focused and keep you motivated so that you can be consistent throughout your day. Look around, again, what do other people do? Maybe that would work for me. How do I stay motivated? For me, in the middle of the day, if I'm struggling, I'll, during my lunch, turn on a YouTube video and just watch a motivational speech, or I will do a quick little meditation, because I know that my job, it requires me to be consistently like I'm on stage. So I'm always feeling drained. So I always have to find a way to restore my energy so that I can be consistent throughout the day. So find the things, sit down for yourself. It's part 2 of your homework here, is to think to yourself, what can I do? What do I currently do right now? What do I currently do to be consistent during the day? When I'm in the afternoon sitting at my desk or whatever your job is, feeling drained and like I don't want to do this anymore, what do I do when that happens? And do you do anything? And then think to yourself, what can I do when my mindset goes here, or when my energy drops? What can I do to put myself back in the right state of mind so that I can be more consistent in my job? Think about it that way and do a little research. What do other people do? I told you what I do. That might work for you and it might not. We're all different. You have to find what's going to really work for you and to make you feel more motivated, more encouraged, and will help you to feel more energetic again so that you can get through the rest of your day and continue to be the amazing person that I know you are. All right, so I wanted to pull a few cards for you today, and today I chose to pull a couple of cards from the Soul Truth deck by Brienne Hovey. And I again want to thank one of my listeners, Ginger, who sent me this deck. I love that. So sweet of her to send it, and I love getting decks. And of course, as soon as I get new decks, I'm like, I can't wait to use these, and I love to be able to pull cards for you guys too whenever I get new decks. This is a really great deck. The first card that came up is, Am I Consistently Showing Up? Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, and even when it feels uncomfortable. It takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. So the soul action on this card is journal, where you can be more consistent in your life in alignment with your soulful goals, and then show up. I love that. And how perfectly fitting is that for our discussion today? So I love that. Definitely, where can you be more consistent in your life? And what are you going to do to show up? Their second card is, what if it isn't true? The thing you're telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong and you can't do it, you won't get there, or you're not enough, or it's not for you. What if it wasn't true? It's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within you, what if it isn't true? What else might be possible? Then journal your answer. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? We tell ourselves lies consistently on a daily basis, that we're not good enough, we don't have what it takes, we'll never make it. Those are just lies we've told ourselves. Anything is possible because the universe is infinite. So journal those thoughts, and I hope that you have a beautiful day today and that you're showing up consistently for yourself. As always, I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.